back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another makeup drawer video. If you're interested to see what makeup I will be pulling into my rotation this week, just keep on watching. Okay, let's start with the face products. So I'm going to be taking out my e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation in Porcelain. I'm going to be taking out the Milani Conceal and Perfect in Creamy Vanilla Foundation. And I'm also going to be taking out my two BB creams that I had in here, both the e.l.f. in Buff and the Unique in Cream. I hate this. You guys know that. I've already talked about it. We're not going to go into it again. I'm going to be leaving in my Unique Mineral Touch Pressed Powder Foundation because I really like this. It's beautiful. I will be leaving this in. For primer, the first one I'm going to be leaving in, this is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Liquid, and I use this kind of under my primer as a illuminating base. So this is going to be staying in, and this one's in the shade Opal. The Benefit Professional, this is literally it's like down to here. So I'm only leaving this in to use it up, and then I will bring in another primer for when it does get used up. Another quick powder that I'm leaving in, this is just the Avon Smooth Minerals Radiant Veil in Pink Radiance. And then I always leave my Clinique Moisture Surge CC Cream Compact in the shade Light. This has SPF in it, and it's also a beautiful color corrector, and I use this every single day. I am going to be leaving in my Hey Honey Active Propolis Cream Concealer. I have been mixing this in with foundations just to use it up. There's only that much left, so I want it gone. But I am going to be taking out my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and putting a different one in. I've just used this a lot lately, and it's time for a change, so that's going to be coming out. So what I'm going to be adding into my face product drawer, for foundation, I'm going to be bringing in my Stila Stay All Day foundation. This was not the current one. This was actually the one before the current one. I think they discontinued this. I'm not sure. I like it. I'm in the shade Fair. For primer, I'm going to be bringing in the Stellar Brilliant Primer. I did use this before and I really, really liked it, but I do want to see if I like it on extended, prolonged use. The other foundation I'm going to be bringing in is the Tainty Doll Ultra Wear Makeup Stick by Lancome. I love the Tainty Doll foundations. For concealer, I'm going to be bringing in my Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Aqua Concealer. I've only used this, I think, once, and I don't remember how I felt about it, but I do remember that it stunk like paint, and I've heard that from everybody that tries this. It really does smell really badly of paint. And then for my under eye setting powder, I have this mini Laura Mercier loose setting powder in translucent. I have the full size of this, so I just want to use up the mini. One dimensional when it comes to my eyebrows. I stick to what works. So what's in my eyebrow drawer / tool drawer, I always keep my Scotch tape in case I want to do one of those really fierce cat eyes. I keep my Sally Beauty pencil sharpener in here, which is amazing. Brow pomade by Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the Dip Brow in medium brown. I also have a Kiss Duo brow powder. I've been using this for ages and ages. That's why it's so dirty and janky. And then I usually carry two eyebrow pencils, but I actually have three in here right now. This is the Lancome powder pencil for the brows. This is so freaking good, you guys. I have this in my brows today. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. And this is in the shade Sable. I also brought in this one I got in my Ipsy bag, and I was shocked that I actually liked it as much as I did. This is the Sugar Arch Arrival Brow Definer, and this is in the shade Taupe Tom. This one is basically the Anastasia Brow Definer. It's got the same triangular shape to it. I thought that taupe would be way too light for me because I do have darker hair, but it works perfectly. I love it. And then I always keep my NYX Wonder Pencil in the shade Light, and I use this to carve out my brows after they are done. And finally, I have my Essence Used to Be Clear Brow Gel. As you can tell, I like this a lot. I'm already halfway done with it. So, okay, let's move on to bronzer and blush. This is what was in here prior. I'm going to be taking out my Lancome Blush Subtil in Blushing Tresor, which is basically Lancome's version of the NARS Orgasm Blush. So that's going to be coming out. Really liked this. Speaking of NARS, I have this NARS Virtual Domination Cheek Palette. This had 3 blushes, a highlight, and a bronzer. And I used it. I liked everything except for the highlight because it is absolute trash. So taking that out. I'm going to be taking out my Pure, this is the Mineral Glow Bronzer. And then for my last blush, I had, again, featured in my favorites video. Go check out that video. I will link it up above. This is the Burt's Bees blush in the shade Bare Peach. Absolutely gorgeous summer blush. I am wearing this one on my face as well today. It's just the most perfect peachy matte blush ever. So that's going to come out too. So now we have an empty thing. Let's go shopping. Okay, so I picked out a few products for the week, and for bronzers, I do have this NYX blush in the shade Taupe. I still like it. I use it as a contour shade. It's like the perfect contour shade. So I decided to pull this guy out as my contour. This is the NYC Smooth Skin Bronzing Face Powder in the shade Sunny. Guys, I am like so close to hitting pan on this sucker. I already wore the like sun down. It's just, oh, it's so good. I love this thing, so I really want to use it because it makes me so sad that I can't get it anymore here, but it is what it is. So for blushes, I pulled out 3. This first one is by Dirty Little Secrets, and this one's in the shade Kitty Pink. This one arrived to me shattered when I got it, and I have since repressed it, so it's fine. It works just fine. I also pulled in my e.l.f. Mellow Mauve blush, and this one's really pretty because it is a neutral, but it almost has this like purpley sheen to it. It's a really beautiful blush. It's got a fantastic formula, so I do like that one a lot. This one is by BH Cosmetics, and this is one of their floral blushes. It's a duo cheek color, and this one is in the shade Caribbean Coral. So you can see on the outside you have this like peachy coral shade, and then over here is like a pink flower, orangey bright blush. Very, very pretty for summer. So that is my bronzer and blush drawer. For highlighters, this was what was in my drawer previously. The only one that's going to be staying in is this teeny highlighter. This is the Barfly highlighter in a cream shade, and I use this to highlight my collarbones and my chest, and this is also in a project pan, so that is why it's going to stay in here. But I think everything else is going to be able to rotate out. So the first one I'm taking out is the Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Highlighter in Peach Lights. I'm going to be taking out the Becca Opal. This is just one of the little mini sizes. I'm going to be taking out my Ulta Beauty Illuminator in Yellow Diamond. Then I'm going to be taking out my Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Highlighter in Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. I really used this quite a bit. You can see I already have some wear going on. And then lastly, as much as it pains me to do so, I'm going to be taking out my Collab highlighter. This is the Filter Highlighting Powder in Uncensored. This is what's on my cheeks. This is what's giving me this wet, reflective glow. So let's go shopping. Okay, picked up my products. So this week I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution. This is the Triple Baked Highlighter. These are the dupes for the Too Faced. This one's in the shade Golden Goddess. It's just a beautiful yellow toned gold. I also pulled in my Stila Heaven's Hue highlighter. This is that putty highlighter. And this one's in the shade Kitten, which is just a really beautiful like rose gold champagne color. I pulled in my Laura Geller Illuminating Palette, and I pulled it in specifically for one shade, but obviously I have a choice of using any of them. And I pulled it in to use Gilded Honey, which is kind of like the classic Laura Geller gold highlighter. And then lastly, I pulled in something I have never talked about on my channel, but it is literally one of my favorite products of all time. This is by Lancome. This is the Dual Finish highlighter in the shade Shimmering Buff. It is just a really nice champagne color, your typical champagne color. So moving into the eye products, I'm going to be pulling out the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. This dried out so quick. I've only had this in rotation for about 2-3 weeks, and it's already completely like gunked up and gross. So I'm going to be taking this out, probably tossing this guy. And I'm also going to be pulling out my Duo Lash Glue. It is so done and gone and gross. The Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion is going to stay in here because it's such a small sample. I just want to get it used up. Then I have my Holy Grail liquid liner. This is the Sephora Colorful Eyeliner in Waterproof in black. This is going to stay. I have the Tarte Sex Kitten eyeliner sample thing. I actually am going to leave this in here because I used it today on my lower lash line and I really like it. So I do want to actually continue using this. Maybelline Eye Studio Gel Liner. I'm going to leave this in here for now. It is starting to dry out because I'm literally like about to hit the bottom of the container. This is my Holy Grail eyeliner of life ever. And then I did have this in here, but I've been using something different lately. This is the Physicians Formula Bronze Booster. It's a sculpting trio, but I use this matte cream shade to set my eyeshadow primer. But right now I'm trying to pan a couple cream shadows, so this guy can actually come out this time. Totally forgot to go through my colored eyeliners, so bear with me here real quick. They're in a different spot. This first one that I had, it was the Lancome Crayon Contour Eyeliner Pencil in Black Coffee. I love this. This is staying. This is absolutely staying. It's a beautiful brown eyeliner and it's freaking huge. I have my ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Get Paid. It's just like a coppery rose gold. I'm actually going to leave this in here as well. I wear this with pink looks all the time. I'm going to be taking out my Marc Jacobs Highliner in Jazzberry. It's just that like pinky purple kind of. This green one from Unique in the shade Prosperous is going to be coming out as well. This Wet n Wild Sapphire and Ice blue liner. This is actually what's on my lower lash line right now. This one is going to be coming out as well. Oh, I just sneezed so hard it popped at the corner of my lash off. And then we have the Rimmel Scandalized Nude Liner, and this one is going to be coming out as well. So let's go shopping. So for mascara, I'm using the Pure Volume Vixen 4-in-1 mascara. It's amazing. I love this mascara, always have. So this is going to be in there. And then I have 3 different liners that I chose. For a nude liner, I chose the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Honeydew. So that's going to go in this week. And then I chose 2 colored ones. I brought back my Unique eyeliner in the shade Passionate. So it's just this really pretty royal purple color. So this one's going to come back in. And then I'm also bringing in the Ulta Beauty Gel Eyeliner in the shade Aqua. It looks like that, not the dark one, the light one right there. Beautiful shade, and I love wearing this on my lower lash line. So those are going to be my eye products this week. So let's move on to my, what's next? Let's do single shadows. Let's do single shadows, and then we'll move on to eyeshadow palettes. So this is the drawer of single shadows that we had last time. I'm gonna breeze through these. I'm not gonna give swatches or anything. If you wanna see all of what was in here before, just watch my last video. I'll link it up above. So things that are coming out. We're gonna be taking out my MAC Pigment in Rose. I'm gonna be taking out this Maybelline Color Tattoo, and this one was in the shade Tenacious Teal. I don't know if they discontinued this color, but if they did and you can still find this, get it. It is freaking amazing. I'm also going to be taking out my Glaze and Eye Gloss by Butter London. This one was in the shade Mermaid, which is just a really pretty like pink with a little bit of purple reflect to it. I like these a lot. I'm going to be taking out my Stila Magnificent Metals Pot. And this one's in the shade Metallic Peach. I love this so much. I'm going to be taking out my Stila Shimmer and Glow eyeshadow in the shade Cloud, which is this purpley taupey color. Taking out the Rimmel Scandalized Shadow Stick in the shade Prohibition Pink. I use this as a base for a lot of my pink shadows. Ooh, we're gonna do it. We're gonna take out the Balm Voyage. I cannot pronounce this, I've said it before. This is just a travel shadow in that shade right there. It's just a really beautiful gold. I wear this on my inner corners more than anything else, but we're gonna take that guy out and switch it out for something else. What is staying in this drawer is my Too Faced Glitter Glue. It always stays in this drawer. This is just a single from Wet n Wild I pried out of one of their palettes that I use on my lid. It's really pretty, but that's gonna stay in there as well. Okay, so I pulled out a bunch of single shadows that we're going to be using this week. The first one that I pulled out was by Stila. This is one of the Glitter and Glows in Diamond Dust. It's just the silver with the multicolored reflect in it. I also pulled in the Urban Decay Liquid Moondust eyeshadow, and this one's in the shade Solstice. I pulled out my Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in Rose Gold. I'm going to use this as an eyeshadow base. NARS Dual Intensity eyeshadow, and this is in the shade Callisto, which is like this beautiful purpley taupe shade. Absolutely stunning. I love this on the inner corner. I pulled in the L'Oreal Galaxy Lumiere Holographic Eyeshadow, and this one's in Moon Kissed. This one's got an awesome reflect to it. It's actually very similar to what's on my nails, where it goes from like a purple to a blue shift. Very, very similar, so I really like this guy. Pulled in 2 ColourPop shadows. I pulled in Sequin, which is an oldie but a goodie, and I need to really get using mine because it's starting to dry out. It's just a really gorgeous, gorgeous rose gold metallic. Look. And then I pulled in another ColourPop shadow. I actually haven't put this on my eyes just yet. I just recently got this one. This is one of the Ultra Glitters, and this one is in Revolution. It is a, how do I explain it? It's like a purpley, taupey, mauve glitter bomb is what it is. So there is Revolution. And then lastly, we have the Makeup Forever Starlit Powder. This is in number 13. Iridescent Pearl. So this one is a loose pigment. Very pretty. So that is the Stardust powder. That is what's going in my single shadows, and I know this is the part you guys are all waiting for. Let's move into the eyeshadow palettes. First one I'm going to be moving out. This is the Tarte Be a Mermaid and Make Waves palette, and I used a lot of the colors. This is definitely a fantastic palette. The shape of the eyeshadows are weird, but I really liked it. But I am going to move it out. I'm also going to be moving out my Urban Decay Moondust palette. I really love this one too. It's a beautiful palette. I'm going to be taking out my e.l.f. Mad for Matte, and this is the Summer Breeze eyeshadow palette. I actually was really impressed by this. There were a couple dud shadows, but mostly they blended beautifully. I'm also going to be taking out my Urban Decay Naked Smoky palette. I just I haven't gotten in the flow of really figuring out what to do with this yet. I'm also going to be taking out my Kat Von D Metal Matte Palette. I got a lot of use out of this week. I really enjoy the foiled shadows up top here and the mattes down the bottom. I know it's discontinued, you guys. I know it's hard to find, but if you do have this, or if you can find this on like, you know, Poshmark or something, highly recommend it. The ones that are going to be staying in here are my 3 that have Project Pan. First one is a unique palette in number 1. I'm not going to show you the inside because it'll ruin my Project Pan progress, but I'm going to be leaving this guy in here. And then I'm also going to be leaving in my traditional 2 that have stayed with me most of the time, the Nikki Tutorials Power of Makeup palette. Again, there's a Project Pan shadow in here. And then I also have my Too Faced Christmas in New York holiday palette from 2016. There is an eyeshadow in here that is in a Project Pan as well. So those are all going to stay in my little area, and we're just going to go do this. Pulled in my Natasha Denona Lila palette. I'm also going to be pulling in my Z palette. This is one from Ulta, but this has all my Makeup Geek eyeshadows in it, as well as a couple random brands. So I feel like the colors that I have in my Z palette are really nice for summer. I'm also going to be pulling in my Urban Decay Heavy Metals palette. The packaging is really bulky. That's the only downfall to it. But I mean, the colors are gorgeous. Then I pulled in a new palette to me. I haven't used this one on my eyes yet, and I'm not sure I'm gonna like it. This is one of the Stila palettes. This is the Eyes Are the Window Body. So this one, the color choices in here are really pretty, but every single one of them has some type of like a glitter to them. Not metallic, like actual glitter. I'm also bringing in the Too Faced Boudoir Eyes little tin palette. I love the cool tones in this, and this is gonna be like the only cool tone that I have in my drawer right now. So, and last but not least, we have my Lorac Unzipped palette. I love this palette because it is all rose gold shades and mauves, and that's like my go-to color for my eyes. So this is what we're working with here. We're gonna move on to lip products, and then we are done. So for my lip drawer, we had all these guys in there, and all but like 2 are gonna come out. So instead of showing you what's coming out, because there's so many, I'm just gonna show you what I'm either keeping in or stays in all the time. So the first thing that's staying in is my Pouty Lip Liner by Unique. This is in a Project Pan. Another one that's going to stay in is my lip balm. This is a friend of mine that makes these, Wispy Mom Boutique, but it's just a peppermint lip balm that I love. So that stays in here. I'm going to be leaving my little mini Buxom White Russian in here because I'm just trying to use it up. It's so small and I have a full size of it. And then the rest of it is all going to come out. So the rest of these products are coming out. As far as lip liners go, I already put stuff back because I didn't remember that I didn't talk about them. We're going to go through that in a second. So for lip products, I picked out a bunch again. And I got a nice variety in here of everything. So I brought out my Huda Beauty liquid lip in the shade Bombshell, which is like a brownie nude. I brought out my NYX Liquid Suede Cream Lipstick in the shade Tea and Cookies, which is just a really pretty mid-tone pink. I did end up deciding to keep my Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Lilac Lipstick in here. I didn't actually use this week, so I do want to use this. And then I did bring in a couple more liquid lipsticks. I brought in the ColourPop Ultra Satin in Calypso, which is more of like a rosy warm tone nude. And then I brought in my Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick in the shade Ashton, which is again another very warm orangey kind of nude. Just a pure like moussey liquid lip in the shade Obey. So it's just this like pale nude. It's not a dry down matte liquid lip. It's one of those like moussey texture liquid lips, which I personally like. So I brought in the Urban Decay Vice lipstick in the shade Hideaway, which is a comfort matte. It's just kind of like a cooler toned mauve shade. We brought in the Lorac, the highly pigmented cream lipstick in the shade Centerfold, which is again one of those orangey, peachy nude lipsticks. NARS Velvet Matte Lip Pencil in the shade Let's Go Crazy, which is a very bright fuchsia color, and I think it's really fun for summer. It's unique, it's cool. It's by Too Faced, and it is in the shade Unicorn Tears. If you've never seen Unicorn Tears, it is a blue lipstick with just a ton of like purple, pink, iridescent duochrominess. So the first gloss I brought in is by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is in the shade Saint Tropez. It is a duochromatic pink to like bronzy gold lip gloss. I also brought in this unique one. I've never worn this, I don't think, ever, but I wanted to and I could never figure out how. So I thought I would pair it with my NARS lip pencil. This is one of their lip glosses in the shade Lavish. There it is right there. It's actually very pretty. But again, it's just something that you have to wear over something that'll work. So I have that guy in to try out and see if I'm going to keep it or declutter it. And then finally, I have my little Marc Jacobs Sugar lip gloss. I cannot wait to wear this. I just picked this up at Sephora. Really quick, I have some lip liners to go with these products. This first one here is one of the NYX Suede matte lip liners in the shade Tea and Cookies. I think this one was already in and I'm just putting it back in, but whatever. I have this Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place lip pencil in the shade Mauve, just like it sounds. It's a beautiful mauve shade. I have the Milani Color Statement lip liner in fuchsia. This will obviously go with those fuchsia colors that I picked out. I have the NYX regular lip liner in nude pink, which is, again, just like it sounds, a nude pink. Shock, surprise, right? And then finally, I have my Buxom Plump Line lip liner in Incognito. I love this one. So for fragrance, I told you guys that I was going to be putting in my Calvin Klein Deep Euphoria perfume last time. I literally have maybe like 4 sprays left, so this is pretty much done. I'm gonna be bringing in a different fragrance this week, and I think I'm gonna pull in 2 because I have been rotating back and forth between them. The first one that I wanna pull in is this one right here. This one is actually by Rue 21. I talked about this in a favorites video as well, somewhere. I don't remember which one, honestly. This is one of their new, like, layerable scents, and this is in the floral one, and it's Peach Freesia, Sweet Musks. I'm gonna be pulling in the Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess perfume. This smells exactly like the beach. It does. It smells exactly like sunscreen. If you're not a fan of that coconut sunscreen scent, you would hate this. Those are the 2 that I'm gonna be using this week, and I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If you have not subscribed, definitely subscribe down below so you can keep track of all of my craziness. If you have not liked this video, why not? Go like it, please. Thank you. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next video. Bye, guys.